YouTube. It is the 10th of March 2022. Hopefully the wind doesn't kick up too bad here. Looks like we got a little bit of something trying to move in. There was a small chance of rain for this evening, so we'll see what happens. So real quick here, just got home, decided to turn on the camera again here. Again, this is trying to become a daily habit, and figured, well, might as well go over some of the stuff that I'm hoping to get done this weekend. So a couple of things here. One is going to be trellises. Now there's a couple of different setups that I'm wanting to do. So one of the things I'm wanting to do is actually a couple of arch trellises, and the main reason for that is just because I think they look nice and I want to try it. So I'm thinking about having one here that goes over at the front, and then another in the back. Now, I was debating on whether or not to do a third. I don't think I'm going to, at least not right now. But I definitely want to do one in the front here and one in the back of the row. Again, I just think that it'll look nice. Now, part of that's going to end up being basically I'm going to have to move a couple of these containers because of what I want to grow up the trellises. So I haven't started them yet. I'm wanting to get some beans going, maybe some peas. It may be a little late for that, but we'll see what happens. I'm still going to try. There's a few other things in here, though, that I've got planted that I want to try growing up a trellis. One is going to be cucumbers. I'm going to try the cucumbers up a trellis, and I may even try doing the cucumbers up one of the arch trellises. Probably the back one here, if I do that. Now, two other things that I'm going to attempt to grow up a trellis. The fruit that it produces probably won't be the largest because of it, but I'm okay with that. I want to try growing melons. Specifically, I've got both cantaloupe and watermelon. I've also got zucchini and squash that I've got planted in here, and I want to try growing them up trellises too. Now, I'm not going to do an arch trellis with those. That's just going to be just an upright trellis, and I just want to see if it's something that can be done. I've seen melons growing up a trellis. I've seen watermelons growing up a trellis. So I figured I'd give that a shot. And then, of course, the other one is going to be for the tomatoes. So in my little tomato container here, I've got, get that camera here, here we go. So I've got cherry tomatoes on this side, got the larger tomatoes on this side over here. And what I'm looking at doing is putting the trellis right in the middle to kind of, on one hand, it'll separate them, kind of, at least for my perspective. But then it's also going to give them the trellis for me to grow up. So for the upright trellises, I'm just using basically it's just a galvanized welded wire fence. We actually found a Tractor Supply out here that sells like the 14 gauge. I don't know how thick a fence I'm going to need. I think I'm going to start with the 14 gauge and go from there. We'll see what happens. For the uprights, though, I'll get a couple of T-posts for those. Now, for the arch trellis, I actually do have some rebar that a friend of ours gave us, and so I think I might use that for some staking with the trellises as well. We'll see what happens with that. Um, my little rosemary and my little thyme bushes. I'm going to show you those real quick. I just like those. Man, it's trying to get dark out here. Anyway, so I think I'm going to try to use the rebar as kind of the staking and support it. It's tall enough that I think I'll be able to do it, and that'll of course save on cost of T-posts. T-posts aren't overly expensive, but if I don't have to purchase one, well then that's just a better option financially. You know, free is always the best price. So I'm going to go with that, and that's really the big thing with the garden back here this weekend. I'm going to do another bag of for onions. I've still got onions that we'd gotten from Dixondale Farms, and I don't want those to go to waste, so I'm going to do another bag of onions. We're also going to probably get some stuff together for some flowers. We'll see what happens with that. And if I have time, I'm hoping to get out to one of the larger farmers markets this weekend. That'd be Saturday, to be specific. So if I'm able to go with that, I'm going to probably bring the camera along, see if I can't get some shots, maybe a little bit of footage of that. We'll see what happens with that. That all depends on what kind of time frames we're looking at. We do have some stuff that we're doing, helping out some family this weekend. So I don't know if we're going to have time for that, for the farmers market. If we don't get it this weekend, I'm definitely going to try for the following weekend. But the one I'm looking at, unfortunately, it's only on Saturdays. So with that, that's really about it. And by the way, another little tangent here. This there's a plant that I keep showing, these little yellow flowers. This is broccoli. That's just what it looks like when it goes to flower. Now, why that one bolted and none of the rest of it did, I don't know. I have no idea. So it looks cool, so I leave it. Plus, I got plenty of other broccoli plants here that haven't even started heading up yet. But that one decided to just bolt off on me. So otherwise, that about does it for me for today. So yeah, I'm just trellises and maybe a couple extra bags happening this weekend, and man, that plane is loud. So yeah, that does it. See you on the next one.